Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. I am thrilled with this evening's program because in both segments I have people who have been longtime good friends of mine. And so we're going to get right to it. Connie Pacheco is the president of Recoveries Are Us. So nice to see you, Connie, and a blessing and good health to you and your family. I know there's some difficult personal things. We never compromise on that. And my buddy Jomil, who's the I got a whole long list. He's the executive director, founder, and president of AHF Pharmacy Specialists and the HIV Stops With Me 2023 campaign. And check out his Instagram, check out his Facebook. He's the funniest guy in America, and I love him. Nice to see you, Jomo.
Nice to see you too.
Great. Connie, we're talking this evening. We want to promote June 15th from 1 to 7 p.m., the 5th annual Bronx LGBT Expo. I can proudly say I emceed, I think, the first two of them. I was a moderator, right? I'll be working on my other program, but this is an exciting thing. This is an important thing for the Bronx. Tell us all about what's happening. What do we need to know?
Yeah, so absolutely. So this will be the 5th annual Bronx LGBT Expo. As you know, this was originally created by Jose Ramon, a dear good friend of ours who passed away of ALS, and his vision and mission was to bring resources from the community, within the community, and to unite these resources for the future of our community. So this year we'll be hosting it at Lincoln Hospital. We partner with Lincoln Hospital, and it'll be from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And of course, the first segment is a panel discussion. This year's theme is on bisexuality, HIV, and peer recovery movement. So we're very, very happy about that segment. And then the second segment is going to be the entertainers, the performers. And we definitely have a great lineup this year of entertainers.
You have a great lineup every year.
Thank you.
And then of course, later on will be Jomil and his panel discussion about the HIV Stops With Me campaign. I just want to get back, talk about one of the things that I learned from our buddy Jose, our late buddy Jose Ramon, was he used his art, his photography, to and it's the White Shirt Project. You can look it up online. We did shows with him, and the whole idea was to call attention to the need for support for people with mental issues. I mean, I'm not even saying mental illness, mental issues. Who among us doesn't have them?
That's right.
Right. So I just wanted to say, and I know for he and I did a program on our other program, Bronx Talk, about suicides among LGBT youths, many of whom have had all kinds of difficulties. We don't have to list them now. But this is really a celebration of a growing and vibrant Bronx community, isn't it? So Connie, you just comment on that, and Joma, you'll comment on that next. So Connie, the LGBTQ plus, keep going, you can list anything you want, is growing, and people have pride. What else can I tell? Right? Just tell me a little bit about the community that's invited, that's celebrating with you on June 15th at Lincoln Hospital. Almost at Lincoln Center. That's next, but
that's next. That's right. Call it to the university.
Anyway, go ahead. I don't want to talk too much. I want you to talk. Just tell us about the community and why this is a shout out, a celebration.
Right, and it is. So as you know, it is Pride Month, so we kick off the Pride Festival.
Right.
It is an LGBTQ plus IA expo. However, it's open to the community. It's free. It's a free event, and our goal and our mission is to educate the community on the issues that I just mentioned a few minutes ago, but also to bring about resources for the community. There's a lot of resources in the community that people don't know that are there. And so we want to highlight that. We want to engage individuals, and we want to reduce the stigma and the myths and the misconceptions that people may have about the LGBTQ community.
And this is the perfect time to bring in Jomil. Jomil, you have been working professionally on many of these issues, but before we get to that, let's just talk in general. Changes in the Bronx, gay and lesbian, LGBT. I don't want to leave anybody out of that community from years ago to now. Is it the same? Is it different? There are pressures. We know what's going on all over the country, maybe not as much in the Bronx. What's the difference in growth or change from then to now?
Yeah, Gary. Definitely. I mean, first and foremost, I would say that I think, we don't have enough representation in places like the Bronx. And so, yeah, New York probably is one of like the gay meccas of the world, right? But here in the Bronx, especially the South Bronx where I work, we still don't have very many venues or just safe spaces and community-based organizations that cater specifically to the LGBTQ plus
That
community.
is fascinating to me. That,
Yeah.
because I was just thinking, so gay bars, do we have gay bars in the Bronx?
We really
No.
don't have I
Wow.
mean, right now, if I can
Very
name
few.
one, that's too many, right? And they open, they close, they open, they close, and that's been the case for so many years, right?
Wow.
Unfortunately, and that's why people in the Bronx have to travel into Manhattan. That's unfortunate that you can't even, go to a nice, respective, LGBTQ owned
Sure.
or very, gay friendly venue in your own backyard, and you have to
Wow.
travel
I,
into
I you know,
the
I never thought of that.
yeah, and
Wow.
there's a lot of stigma, obviously, still with anything that has to do with LGBTQ plus, and you know that we're living in a climate where there's so many, anti-LGBTQ laws being passed throughout the United States,
Right.
and I think that today we're living in a state of like fear. But I just want people to know that it's a state of fear, and that it's a false narrative against the LGBTQ plus community, especially our trans brothers and sisters. Anti-drag, drag queens are
So
being
crazy.
attacked. So we are living in times where there's a lot of hysteria, but don't be fooled. We definitely need to stand together, and I think that Connie said it best, that by us, bringing about education and awareness and bringing people together from all walks of life, because the LGBT Expo is for everyone in the community, and it's a free event to bring everybody together so that we can just give back and educate, but also bring people together for the resources that we want everybody to walk away with.
I did tell you guys that I will be there after the show in my suit. That's a vow.
Yeah.
That's a problem. But what you said is fascinating to me. In the Bronx, the BX, how could we not have these kinds of just safe, comfortable places where people well. I'm going to talk that up. Jomil, I want to ask you about the Slay HIV Stops With Me campaign. We did that on our other program, but this is going to be a center of focus. What is it that you're going to be presenting, and why is it so important to present this at this particular event, but of course anywhere and everywhere?
Yeah, definitely. So for people who don't know, the HIV Stops With Me campaign is a multifaceted campaign throughout the United States where HIV positive spokesmodels, with lived experience of being HIV positive, they talk about their story, they share their story, they do public speaking engagements, but they also run social media campaigns. And we also do campaigns on our website where we share it with the world and the community just to bring about awareness so we can destigmatize HIV, because HIV is still a problem until we find the cure. And I've said this before, until we find a cure, HIV is something that we should still pay attention to, right?
Right.
And I'm one of the Bronx spokesmodels, and so it's very near and dear to me that I am working in the South Bronx, but working throughout the entire Bronx community. And I think the goal of the campaign is to reach those people that we can't traditionally reach, right? The people who are not coming in to get tested, to link to care, and to link to services like PrEP and prevention services like PEP.
You somewhat embody the whole concept, because you have been living with HIV and productively and healthfully, and living
Definitely.
as good a life as you could possibly live.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm jealous of the pictures I see you on the beach. Okay, that's fine. But that's what I guess being the spokesmodel is. And the other thing, of course, we have to mention is that billboard still up on Fordham Road.
Not anymore. It was
Oh,
only up for a short period of time,
damn.
and I was also on the subways. But it was something that it's a very bold campaign, and I'm happy that it's bold and in your face, because that's what it takes to destigmatize, right?
Sure,
And
and also to meet people like you, like Connie, like anybody,
mhm,
and listen, we people may or may not know they meet gay people, or people who have different points of view all the time, either knowing it or not. What are you going to be? We don't have a lot of time now, but what are you going to be doing? You're going to have a panel
yeah,
discussion,
oh yeah,
an
definitely.
informational thing.
Yes. So on June 15th at Lincoln Hospital, we will have some of the other spokesmodels from the HIV Stops With Me campaign, doing a panel discussion to raise awareness, to talk about the state of HIV today. I will also be giving, an overview of the state of HIV, and we will have some HIV experts in the room. So please, please, please follow. You can follow me at Jomil_Luna or HIVstopswithme.org on the website or on Instagram or Facebook. And the Bronx LGBT Expo, the BX LGBT Expo, either on Facebook or Instagram. And please, please, please tell your friends and family that we need to raise awareness and that we're going to have so many more panels that day, and we're going to have entertainment, and we need to support our community because it's super important for all of us to come together.
People, Bronx people getting together. You guys know me a long time. I generally don't, categorize you are whoever you are. We accept, we love, and that's what we do. And that, to me, that's what it's about. And as you know, I will always show up or do whatever I can. Connie, this is really important to you. And as I said, I know that you're going through some personal things, but you really had to be here. Why is this so important to you personally, that number one, you're carrying on Jose Ramon's legacy, and number two, you're doing this? We've got about a minute, so I'll give you a minute to just wrap it up for us.
Yeah. So very quickly, yeah, it's very important to me because that's exactly it. When Joey died, Jose Ramon, when he passed away, the conversations that we had was that he said, Connie, don't let them forget. And he entrusted the Bronx LGBT Expo to me, along with the White Shirt Project. And that was his thing. He says, please don't let people forget. Don't let people forget about the issues. And he was so, even to his last day, he was so concerned with being able to provide people a platform, a whole community, a platform to discuss and to have these kind of discussions and awareness. So, and he was a dear friend of mine. So yeah, it's very important for me to continue on his legacy and his vision. And I think that we do him proud, this being the third one that Jomil and I do. And I think it's growing. Last year we had it at Bronx Museum. This year we're at Lincoln Hospital, and it's a huge space along with the auditorium. So next year, who knows?
Who knows? I said Lincoln. I said Lincoln Center.
Lincoln Center.
Lincoln Center. I'm there, baby. And then I really will wear my suit.
Yeah, yeah.
But
the
listen,
we have to keep it in the Bronx because it is the Bronx.
Well, of course,
Expo.
we're just goofing it. Of course, I would never cross the border. But I will tell you, what's his name? Jose's perspective of using art to make the case was absolutely brilliant, and I was honored. And I don't know if you guys were, but I was honored to be in the white shirt. My wife and I had a beautiful portrait that he gave to us. So anyway, listen, it is I almost said Lincoln Center, Lincoln Hospital, on June 15th from 1 to 7 p.m. Located at 234 East 149th Street. We all know that. Connie Pacheco, hugs and all the best. And Jomil, high five, man. We just keep telling the truth. That's what we do. That's okay. And that'll do it for the Bronx Buzz, folks. Fun show today with the great people of the Bronx. That's what we do. And you know what happens next. We'll see you next week. Good night.